How much do you really know about autism? It used to be a very uncommon condition. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the diagnoses of autism spectrum disorders have increased from 1 child per 150 in 2007 to 1 per 100 just 3 years later. Even though the condition has become quite popular, an exact cause is still unknown. It may seem as though vaccines could only have positive outcomes, although there are many people who think otherwise. Some blame the MMR, mumps, measles, rubella vaccine, for autism, and others warn that mercury toxicity is the cause. Both instances involve thimerosal, a mercury-based preservative. Mercury can cause harm to the immune system, brain swelling, and abnormal brain development if a person is exposed to a large enough amount. But really, too much of anything can become hazardous to a person's health. There are sources that state that the Food and Drug Administration has eliminated thimerosal from childhood vaccines. Some say that there are still trace amounts of the substance in many vaccines. Another source indicates that thimerosal remains in flu vaccines, including the one for the H1N1 virus. Regardless of what is true, autism has continued to rise. The increase does not stop the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention from advising parents to vaccinate their children against 13 diseases by 18 months old. The MMR vaccine is given at a time between 12 and 15 months. A lot of parents say that their child seemed just like any other until they were given their vaccinations. More thorough observations show that symptoms such as abnormal motions are present in the child before this time. There is a similar finding in research evaluating the relationship between autism and the MMR vaccine. None of them find a link. For example, the British Medical Journal reported that autism rates continued to climb in areas where MMR vaccination rates were not increasing. Studies comparing children who were vaccinated to those who were not did not prove a relation either. 10 years ago, the Institute of Medicine rejected the vaccine hypothesis and decided that no further investigation was needed. There are many dangers hidden in our environment, including toxins. Toxins can accumulate in the environment by natural or industrial means. Without knowing, dozens or even hundreds of chemicals collect in a person's body throughout his or her life. With continued exposure, heavy metal toxins can cause many illnesses such as cancer and organ damage. Young children especially cannot tolerate these harmful toxins because their nervous systems and immune systems are not fully developed. The Environmental Protection Agency has found 3,000 high production volume chemicals, meaning that the United States gets more than 1 million pounds of each per year. 43% have never been checked for toxicity. It has been found that children who develop autism have trouble removing these toxins from their bodies. Therefore, more toxins would be capable of building up, causing serious effects. Studies conducted within families of autistic individuals prove a genetic background to be the leading cause of the disorder. Autism recurrence in relatives is estimated at 6 to 8%, or up to 200 times the risk in the general population. Studies on autism spectrum disorders have found the rate of the same inherited traits to be 66% in identical twins, compared to a 2 to 6% rate in fraternal twins. Some compare the disorder to other birth defects, which are generally produced when environmental factors interact with specific genetic backgrounds. In some cases, certain environmental triggers can cause exact gene mutations. It is very likely that the different amounts and types of exposures are responsible for the different severities of autism. In other words, the environment can either slightly or extremely alter selected genes.